This video is about specifics of and the differences between the experiences we may have on spiritual path, samadhis, different visions, and self-realization from this one perception point of view. So how it appears to be seen here through this one's experience. And can you hear me? Consciousness may have states, and commonly we call it the dreaming, the waking, the sleeping. It alternates. But the self does not alternate. And the self is the seat of consciousness. It is beyond consciousness also. It is the source of consciousness. And consciousness is always so. When you're in deep sleep, there is an absence of experiences. It's just blank, like a blank canvas. Then we color canvas with colors and paint and textures. And it seems like the blank canvas is no more, but it is still there. So in the same way, when you're in deep sleep, you don't know that you are deeply asleep. The dream starts to appear and arise within deep sleep, which we no longer call deep sleep, which we call dreaming state, because there is pictures on the screen of the mind. So this is the coloring of canvas. And then comes consciousness, stays the same, right? The deep sleep is there. Then within it starts the movement of the waves, dreaming. Then sort of when we wake up, there's transition. And in this transition, consciousness starts to be the witness of an actual body-mind organism, which appears in consciousness and uses this body-mind organism to perceive what we call outside of us, which is still dream of consciousness, but yet more grows more, because suddenly in the dreaming is just everything that happens in the mind, so you don't really touch it, right? It's just pictures. There is no senses like that. So mind plays with the mind, but it's always the only constant is I. It's you to whom dream happens, you to whom life experience happens, right? So I, in this case, is the only constant. In deep sleep, there is not even an I, because of the absence of relativity, because there is nothing to be aware of and conceive. Hey, sorry for interruption. We little kids coming to pet my kittens. So, where was I? In deep sleep, there is no I. Yeah? I as witness, consciousness. Witness, when there is nothing to witness, it sort of subsides into just beingness. So, when we have spiritual experiences, we may go from one state into another of consciousness. We can go into the dreaming while being awake. While we're in meditation, we can have visions of gods, angels, right? But still in realm of relativity, it's a state. Then you can have a state which is the absence of any experience, which is the deep sleep, while even being awake, while you go into deep meditation, which is like absorption or samadhi. So these things can happen, but the happening of these things is not the realization. Realization is real I, realization. It is the self-knowledge. It is the knowledge of the real I. What is that real I? And real I is beyond any I. It's beyond any states. It is that in which all states appear and fluctuate, and visions and dreams. And this is it is the blank canvas. You can say it's a deep sleep state, but it's beyond the state. Blank canvas, I like that analogy. It's the absence of states, but in which states happen and appear. And the knowledge is crucial here, because you as consciousness are becoming aware of what your real I is, true self, which is beyond these fluctuations. And that insight, I can't say whether these states and experiences necessary or fact. There are beings who just become aware of their true being without needing any sparkling experiences, without ever having this big absorption or before the I am states. I don't know. From in here, there were experiences and the understanding didn't take place. And there was an absorption and understanding took place. And sort of, I don't see them. It's like billions of factors, and yet nothing causes it. So this is where surrender takes a big place, and the realization that you can't do it, because you really can't. But the someone who went beyond and points to the beyond as your true nature, as tells you like you are the absolute, which in my case it was the words of Nisargadatta Maharaj. His self-knowledge made this one aware of this self-knowledge, of the knowledge of the self with capital S. And the experiences, they were sort of, they were there, there were some experience, but they were like so far and not interesting at all. And very secondary, or even much further, like not important at all. So that's for sure. Experiences, states, they're secondary to the self. And knowledge comes from the self, doesn't come from states. I don't know if there wasn't ever anyone saying about it and you could realize it. I don't know, only because in this case, I had someone pointing. And when it was pointed, it's like the bubble popped, and it was seen that, wow, it was always here. The self, always, forevermore, unchanging. So that then there is no before and after, and then nothing is important, and no experiences are needed, and all the experiences are just a part of the play, of the story, of this plane. And the realization or the self is beyond it. So even someone like a guru pointing, it's still happening, weirdly to say, in the play, in the dream, in the secondary, and the one who suddenly realizes that one was in the dream, realizing that they are beyond the dream. So, did I confuse you more? Oh, look at them. Look at them. Okay. Let's just be. Let's just be. Hey, Dor.